YouTube is one of the most underutilized platforms by many digital marketers. Despite many statistics clearly showing the profitability of video marketing, even many of the web's preeminent digital marketers are shy to get involved. Why is this? Simple. Many marketers who are working from home lack the resources, the know-how, or the confidence to get involved with video marketing. But you know what? That's exactly why you need to get involved and why you need to learn how to use this crucial tool. Leaving the statistics to one side for a moment, video marketing is incredibly valuable simply because it allows you to change the way that others perceive your business. When you create a great video with high production values, you make your organization feel far more professional, stable, and resourceful. Instead of looking like you're some guy writing articles from his mum's basement, you'll now look like a real business, complete with high production values and a professional sheen that inspires trust and confidence in your brand. At the same time, video marketing also has some other advantages. For example, it's highly engaging beyond what you can achieve with a written advert or even a blog post. Think about how often you've sat up all night watching TV programs that you weren't really interested in simply because it was too difficult to turn off and turn your attention away from them. Videos combine sound, music, images, and clever editing, and they let us speak directly to the audience. If you're a digital marketer with a personal brand and you're trying to gain the trust and familiarity of your audience, then going on video and letting them meet you in that way is incredibly valuable. Likewise, though, if you're a large corporation and you want to show off your products, then being able to put them on the screen and show them being used will make it much easier for your audience to understand them and to see the appeal and the value proposition. Think about what you'd be more likely to buy. Something you heard described in a piece of text, or something you could see being held up to the camera, being used and shot in dynamic, flattering lighting. Add in some great music to underscore the value of the item and a great persuasive sales script, and you can make anything seem incredibly desirable. And one of the most effective forms of video marketing available to any internet marketer is YouTube advertising. YouTube is a massive platform and provides incredible reach to a vast range of different users across the world. The only downside is that it's also very difficult to get noticed through YouTube. As with running a blog, creating a YouTube channel means competing with millions of other content creators and saturation in almost every niche imaginable. This is where YouTube advertising comes in. Using a YouTube advertising campaign, you can ensure that millions of people see your video instantly. This can then be used to directly sell a product, to drive traffic to your website, or even to drive traffic to a YouTube channel. In other words, YouTube advertising allows you to quickly skip the hard work normally associated with building your channel, and instead get straight to the part where you begin getting huge exposure and building your brand. In case you're not yet convinced that YouTube is the platform for you, it may help to look at some of the incredible statistics surrounding the video sharing site. For instance, did you know that YouTube has over 1 billion users? That makes it absolutely massive, and to put it in perspective, it's nearly a third of everyone on the internet. Every single day, these users watch hundreds of millions of hours of video on the channel. And on mobile alone, YouTube manages to reach more 18 to 34-year-olds and 18 to 49-year-olds than any cable network in the US. So in other words, if you were thinking of spending money on a video advertising campaign, then your money would actually be much better spent on YouTube advertising. This is especially true too, considering that YouTube advertising is far more affordable. Think these numbers are impressive now? Then you'll be even more impressed to learn that the user base is still growing exponentially. In fact, it grows by more than 3 times year on year. That means that there will likely be 3 times as many users by the end of next year. Between March 2014 and January 2016, the number of users on YouTube increased by a whopping 40%. These users are also spread throughout the world, which is great if you have an international product. 80% of YouTube viewers come from outside the US. In fact, the channel is available in over 76 different languages. More than half of YouTube's views are from mobile devices, but it's also worth taking into consideration just how popular YouTube is across a range of other devices as well. YouTube can be enjoyed on TVs and even on games consoles, so it's available even in households without computers or smartphones. People don't just use YouTube for entertainment either. They also use it for looking up information and getting answers to questions. YouTube is commonly used just like Google as a search engine, and is in fact the second largest search engine after Google in terms of the numbers of searches. For all these reasons, YouTube actually controls the flow of 17% of all internet traffic. And advertisers and creators are profiting greatly from all this success. Partner revenue has been increasing by 50% year on year, and channels earning six figures a year from YouTube have also increased by the same amount. Adoption of YouTube advertising is growing too. The numbers of advertisers using YouTube has increased by 40% each year, and the average spend for the top 100 advertisers has increased by 60%. What does all this tell us? Well, for now, it tells us that YouTube advertising still isn't oversaturated. There's still a place here, and especially for internet marketers. If you use YouTube marketing to show videos of your new ebook or your self-development blog, then you'll be one of the few marketers using it that way currently. This in turn means that you can stand out and get attention, and you can get great prices and excellent ROI for your campaign. Similarly, though, it also shows you that companies already using YouTube advertising are profiting from it and are thus reinvesting more money into it. Did you know that every single one of the top 100 global brands have run YouTube adverts in the last year? TrueView adoption is growing too, and it grew by 45% over 2014. This is the perfect time to set up an account and to start reaching a bigger audience. So, without a doubt, YouTube advertising is one of the absolute best ways to engage with your audience, to drive traffic, to generate profit, and to grow your brand. But you may still be feeling apprehensive. Perhaps you're unsure as to whether you have what it takes to create videos of a professional quality, or maybe you don't know how to go about using the platform. Perhaps you're concerned about the amount of money you'll need to spend. Don't be. This is where these videos will come in handy and will show you the ropes and everything you need to learn in order to start making the most from YouTube advertising. Throughout the course, you'll learn how to create stunning videos that have a professional quality without spending a huge amount of money. At the same time, you'll learn about key phrases and how to get maximum exposure with minimum spend. You'll learn the ins and the outs of the different options available for creating YouTube ads, and you'll learn how to integrate your advertising campaign with a great YouTube channel for maximum exposure. While the number of internet marketers currently using YouTube to its fullest is still quite slim, there are nevertheless some great examples of people who are making a lot of money from it. One example is the very visible Mike Chang from Six Pack Shortcuts, who uses a ton of advertising to drive visitors to his channel and to his information products. One of his most recent videos involved him stuffing his face as much as he could to demonstrate how his training methods don't require you to starve yourself. The video is actually quite unpleasant to watch and is certainly fairly controversial. Both of these things work in Mike's favor, however, as both of these things mean people are more likely to watch and to click through to see what the channel is all about. Remember, these videos will normally show just before fitness and bodybuilding videos that the user has clicked on, and this is a great way for them to grab attention. In some of his other YouTube ads, Mike will talk about free techniques that you can use as a reader to lose weight or to build muscle. To see the free technique, you need to click on the ad and get directed to another video. This brings people to the Six Pack Shortcuts brand and is what is known as a sales funnel. Gradually, viewers engage more and more with the brand until eventually they're willing to pay for the product. Another example is Tai Lopez. Now, if you spend much time on YouTube, then you'll no doubt have seen him talking about how he earned his Lamborghini in his garage. Once again, the video is fairly ostentatious and controversial, and some people will be put off by it. Either way, though, viewers end up watching, and this technique has allowed Tai to very quickly grow his channel to 406 or more thousand viewers. It's actually doubtful, though, whether that Lamborghini is even his. You don't need to be so on-the-nose controversial or deceptive to make a splash, though. Equally successful is the fitness channel Athlean X, which promotes training like an athlete. In the advertising campaign for this channel, owner Jeff Cavalier actually actively challenges the methods of advertisers like Mike Chang and positions himself as the more grounded and scientific alternative. The techniques you'll learn here will enable you to emulate the success these content creators have, and even to surpass them with your own products and channels. To get started with your advertising, you'll first need to create your account. These days, YouTube is integrated very closely with Google and with Google+. That means that the easiest way to sign in is just to log into your Google account. From there, you'll have the option to create a specific YouTube account. Now, I've already done that, so let's just come into my YouTube account. Now, to create a YouTube channel, you come over here to the little icon that's got your picture on it, or your logo, or however you've set it up on Google, and you click on that, and then click here where it says Creator Studio, and then simply follow the on-screen instructions to set up a new channel. It's all fairly self-explanatory. Now, once you've got all your channels created, you'll be able to find them here on this little drop-down. And at the same time, you'll be able to see your Google Plus accounts all listed underneath. So if you want to create a new channel for your Google Plus page, then you can do it by clicking on these. This means that if you have a business on Google Plus, you can easily create a channel for that business and have your accounts linked. Either way, you need to be on Google Plus in order to use YouTube and in order to be able to add comments, etc. When you create your channel, you'll either use the name associated with your Google Plus account, or you'll create a new name that's relevant to your brand and that's easy for your visitors to find and to understand. You may choose to create multiple channels, one for your brand and one for yourself as a personal user. Alternatively, you might choose to create multiple channels for each of your products. For instance, you might want to create one channel for your brand and another for your app. For example, Microsoft has a Microsoft account as well as a Surface account and a Windows account, and so on. Take a look over the terms and conditions, and once you're happy with the name of your channel, then you can click Done to go ahead and publish the channel. And we'll continue this video in part 2.